The future of business belongs to those who adapt quickly and think proactively. To emerge successfully despite drawbacks from the last couple of years, you need a reliable partner that keeps a positive outlook of the future, understands the trends, and is able to elevate your business. A reliable partner that can help you reach your goals and keep your business protected. As pioneers of telecommunications in the country, Eastern Communications has always been the solutions partner of choice for the biggest and most successful industry players in the country. At Eastern, customers come first, our first motivation for innovation, and first in our mind to serve. Our customers are the answer to our why. We aim to create healthy and lasting partnerships by identifying their needs and placing their requirements in front of everything. At the end of the day, we want to give the best possible experience for our customers. We understand that our customers have unique needs. We put the human connection in everything that we do. Our heart of service is shown through our brand of personalized services. We offer the right solutions, choose the right talent, and work with only the best partners for enterprise, small and medium enterprises, and consumer needs. At Eastern, the industries that we serve always stay ahead of the game. Our high-tech and high-touch solutions allow us to view the world through our customers' eyes and provide them the most meaningful experience. Our data, internet, and voice solutions, which forms our connectivity solutions, provide you with reliable, congestion-free connectivity when and where you need it. Attacks can happen anytime and when you least expect them. But with our security solutions, your network, your data, and your customers' data are protected. Whether it's before, during, or after an attack, we are here to ensure that data risk and security measures are implemented. As we evolve with a fast-paced digital economy, it is essential to be equipped with the most up-to-date and secure cloud computing technology. Our cloud and data center solutions ensure that you have the resources to innovate faster, collaborate seamlessly, and serve your customers efficiently. To ensure that your company resources, the devices connected to your network, can efficiently communicate with each other and other networks and enable you to effectively conduct your day-to-day business operations, we have a healthy suite of products under our network solutions portfolio. Remote work is here to stay. And as this shift in work setup continues, the most reliable business applications should be adapted. With our business applications, your employees can work remotely and maintain their productivity and efficiency. Finally, as your business partners, we provide you with consulting, maintenance, and delivery services to make sure that you have the right solutions to address your business needs with our Eastern services. We have a long-standing commitment to keep a better connected and a digitally secure country. By constantly expanding our footprint, we are reaching and bringing our services to areas where our services are needed the most. We believe that hand in hand, we can forge a much brighter future. Together, let's emerge stronger. The future of business belongs to those who adapt quickly and think proactively. To emerge successfully despite drawbacks from the last couple of years, you need a reliable partner that keeps a positive outlook of the future, understands the trends, and is able to elevate your business. A reliable partner that can help you reach your goals and keep your business protected. As pioneers of telecommunications in the country, Eastern Communications has always been the solutions partner of choice for the biggest and most successful industry players in the country. At Eastern, customers come first, our first motivation for innovation, and first in our mind to serve. Our customers are the answer to our why. We aim to create healthy and lasting partnerships by identifying their needs and placing their requirements in front of everything. At the end of the day, we want to give the best possible experience for our customers. We understand that our customers have unique needs. We put the human connection in everything that we do. Our heart of service is shown through our brand of personalized services. We offer the right solutions, choose the right talent, and work with only the best partners for enterprise, small and medium enterprises, and consumer needs. At Eastern, the industries that we serve always stay ahead of the game. Our high-tech and high-touch solutions allow us to view the world through our customers' eyes and provide them the most meaningful experience. Our data, internet, and voice solutions, which forms our connectivity solutions, provide you with reliable, congestion-free connectivity when and where you need it. Attacks can happen anytime and when you least expect them. But with our security solutions, your network, your data, and your customers' data are protected. Whether it's before, during, or after an attack, we are here to ensure that data risk and security measures are implemented. As we evolve with a fast-paced digital economy, it is essential to be equipped with the most up-to-date and secure cloud computing technology. Our cloud and data center solutions ensure that you have the resources to innovate faster, collaborate seamlessly, and serve your customers efficiently. To ensure that your company resources, the devices connected to your network, can efficiently communicate with each other and other networks and enable you to effectively conduct your day-to-day business operations, we have a healthy suite of products under our network solutions portfolio. Remote work is here to stay. And as this shift in work setup continues, the most reliable business applications should be adapted. With our business applications, your employees can work remotely and maintain their productivity and efficiency. Finally, as your business partners, we provide you with consulting, maintenance, and delivery services to make sure that you have the right solutions to address your business needs with our Eastern services. We have a long-standing commitment to keep a better connected and a digitally secure country. By constantly expanding our footprint, we are reaching and bringing our services to areas where our services are needed the most. We believe that hand in hand, we can forge a much brighter future. Together, let's emerge stronger.
All right, it is time to begin. A good afternoon to everybody. My name is Carla Barreto and I am your host here on E-Huddle, welcoming you all, of course, to another series of E-Huddle called Ignite, the Strength of Rising Together. Now, we are so happy, of course, to see you all again, and especially a big welcome to everyone who is watching this for the first time. We're so glad to have you all. We've definitely got familiar yet always relevant speakers that are lined up for you today. So make sure that you listen well and learn from everybody who's here today. We really look forward to seeing all your comments as well and hearing your feedback. So please don't be shy. Feel free to pop into that chat box and let us know your thoughts as we go. Now, first up, to spice up the webinar, we will be having trivia questions that are being posted in the chat. So make sure that you do stay tuned to those. We're going to be posting questions and you can answer them to get some special prizes. What are they exactly? Well, 5 lucky winners will get special e-vouchers from Giftaway. So make sure you pay attention to the speakers and be quick in answering these questions. Also, another reminder is to make sure that the name you're using in the chat is your actual name that is identifiable from your registration. We want to be sure that the team can get in touch with you later. All right. Second thing, Eastern, of course, is always giving away these amazing raffle prizes. If you've joined us before, I'm sure you already know the drill. But there are some great raffle prizes waiting for us. And if you are here right now, you do have a chance to be one of those winners. So make sure that you stay tuned and follow the instructions that we will be flashing on screen in order for you to get your prizes later. Very, very exciting stuff. But for now, it is time to begin. Here to further express Eastern's vision is the Eastern Communications Head of Conglomerates, Banking and Finance Industry. Let's all welcome Ms. Rowena Beltran.
Thank you, Carla. A pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another series of e-huddles made specially for enterprise businesses like yours. This year's theme, Ignite, the Strength of Rising Together, aims to enjoin the different industries, the business sectors, and other stakeholders to ignite the changing power we hold in our hands. This power will serve as an enduring source of light in these rather challenging times. Together, we aim to continue to foster quality and equality as well as integrity, as if we are in an existing ideal business climate. We, Eastern Communications, we will be your partner in creating a virtuous cycle of growth, sustainability, and profitability. The pandemic may have left us depleted deep inside, but we continue to persevere. Business-wise, we have adapted flexibility in our activities, strengthened ourselves for the next cycles, and invested highly on digital technology. Yes, there are a lot of opportunities in the post-pandemic era. Yet we are also in need to break. Yes, we also need to brace ourselves for external conditions. This is why we have the Ignite series of webinars. Let us ignite our future by acting collectively now, because we can certainly find strength in each other. Thank you very much and have a great day. Again, this is Rowena Beltran. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ms. Rowena. I really love that final note that you left us on which we'll really find strength in each other. And now, everyone, without further ado, let's begin with our first speaker and a little bit about him. He is a DX advocate who supports the conglomerate banking and finance sales group of Eastern Communications by helping them effectively deliver the company's value proposition, which is to provide high-tech and high-touch ICT solutions to its valued clients. He has vast experience working in the telecommunications sector, ensuring businesses find the best suitable solutions for their pain points and challenges. As Eastern's Enterprise Segment Marketing Manager, He is passionately committed in empowering businesses to navigate through the now normal via Eastern's innovative and personalized services. Here to share his insights, let's hear from the Enterprise Segment Manager for Conglomerates, Banking and Finance Industry, Mr. Giancarlo Gono.
Thank you, Carla. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. The digital future is now. The pandemic's effect over the past 2 years changed the way we live and the way we work. Everyone was forced to adapt and to adjust in order to cope up with the changes the pandemic has brought. Many businesses had to accelerate their digital transformation, and that meant, ready or not, they had to find ways to address the shifts in how business is conducted and meet the changing demands of their customers. Now that things are slowly returning to normal, there are some practices or behaviors that we gained or as a result of the pandemic that definitely have become the norm. So let's go through some of them. From working in the office, we are all now accustomed to working from anywhere. In a survey conducted by LinkedIn, more than half of their respondents, or at 55%, believe that remote work will be effective for their industry and will persist post-pandemic. This confidence is even higher in digitally inclined fields such as software and media. However, more conservative industries such as healthcare and retail are still polarized with this idea. And more than half of Filipino workers, or at 52%, have been working from home for years now. And that was based on a study joined by JobStreet. And surprisingly, it spiked to 85% during the COVID-19 pandemic. While the setup took its toll on employees' mental health, roughly half, or at 49%, still prefers staying remote. And it has become something that workers and job seekers looking for in an employer. So from working, we all now go to shopping, which everyone does love. From brick and mortar shopping, people embrace online shopping or e-commerce. And due to the fluctuating restrictions we experienced in the last 2 years, consumers' confidence with transacting online has significantly grown, and they are turning to e-commerce platforms for their retail purchases. These platforms provide more variety in terms of shopping and offer competitive prices. And this resulted in an increasing e-commerce market size, which was estimated to grow fourfold between 2021 and 2025. And many countries, including the Philippines, have shifted from classroom to online education through online learning platforms. Even the government have promoted mobile learning as an efficient way through which students continue learning. This drive has allowed online learning platforms to flourish. Learning has shifted from traditional mode to online learning. And with this shift, online education is considered the reasonable choice for every educational institution. And of course, for the students too. So from working, shopping, and learning, we all have to, of course, manage our finances too. So from traditional banking, people were pushed to familiarize themselves with online banking and alternative payment solutions, which accounted for 30.6% of the total e-commerce payments in 2021. This is closely followed by cash, which has 29.8% share, while payment cards and credit cards account for 23.5%. And these statistics will continue to grow in the coming months and years. So as a result of the pandemic, we changed the way we work, shop, and learn. And according to our market scan, the effects of the pandemic will last well in 2022 and beyond. The acceleration of digitalization in many sectors of the economy will not certainly result in the loss of traditional jobs. Rather, it will emphasize the importance of upskilling and rescaling workers to make them more productive. The rise of e-commerce in retail sector has also led to an increase in the use of digital payments, which is also expected to continue in the coming years and beyond. Another positive impact of the pandemic on retail is an increase in cloud app development via AI-enabled technologies and cybersecurity, and all in the name of improving the customer experience, of course. Lastly, education is not limited to the classroom. It also includes corporate training and development. Definitely, the future of education is digital. And lastly, blended learning and digital banking and online shopping and working remotely will become more prevalent, but it will be heavily reliant on internet penetration and or next generation connectivity, as well as relevant ICT solutions such as learning platforms, the cloud, and of course, cybersecurity. Innovation through the utilization of advanced technology and ICT solutions is really helping not just the financial industry, but also other industries to be future-proof and improve the efficiency and effectiveness of their services being offered to its customers. So here are the 5 must-have IT capabilities for innovative financial services. Not on a particular order, but the first one that I'd like to mention is the optimization of branches to be relevant in the digital age. Financial services institutions, or FSIs, customers today have become more accustomed to digital services in all areas of their lives, from media consumption to shopping. However, they still prefer a face-to-face conversation for more detailed needs. According to the IDC Financial Insights, more customers prefer branch visiting over digital channels when opening new accounts for both simple, such as savings accounts and debit cards, and complex products like different types of loans. And FSI should focus on incorporating as many self-service terminals as possible so customers can carry out more simple transactions such as withdrawals, deposits, balance transfer, and others without the assistance of a branch employee. As financial leaders execute on their digital transformation strategies, they need to fully recognize the value their branches offer and keep customer preference on top of mind when optimizing and repositioning branches. Next is embrace cloud technologies to create a platform for rapid growth. While FSIs recognize the advantage of developing an agile response to the needs and developing new applications on cloud data platforms, according to Forbes Financial Research, only 1 in 4 has a defined and robust strategy for cloud adoption. FSI's initial cloud focus, according to the report, has traditionally centered around infrastructure-related functions with disaster recovery and data backup, serving as the 2 most common functions that FSIs have moved or are in the process of moving to the cloud. So those banks that are seeking to improve their competitiveness will need to evolve their strategy of how cloud can enable the bank's digital transformation. And the cloud offers a way for banks to quickly develop new applications and new services, helping fend off challenges from competitors and remain super relevant to the customers. Next is adoption of a security-first approach. Digital revolution has been affecting not just the financial institutions, but also several industries, and also reshaping how people all over the world do their shopping, oversees their finances, and handles their transactions. As the business landscape and payment channels develop even more multifaceted and leaves gaps in security, cyber protection is more important than ever. And we need to achieve the optimal efficiency and effectiveness of the services that we offer to our customers without definitely compromising cybersecurity. And the other one is commitment to innovation with a modernized data center. There is no industry more reliant on high-performing 24/7 data center than the financial services, as they look to store and analyze the sheer volume of data generated by their customers. There is no denying that data center is the backbone of the financial services industry and holds the key to its growth. As data center evolves to support the increasing need for data storage, financial institutions must, of course, embrace a more holistic approach, adapting their infrastructure to suit the needs of their business. And lastly, but definitely not the least, personalization of customer experiences. Today's customers want personalized and consistent experiences across multiple touch points and channels when handling their finances and buying financial products. Of course, they seek convenience and value through real-time, predictive, and proactive financial experiences that serve their specific needs. Personalization can help financial institutions deliver superior customers experiences and build trust and loyalty by personalizing interaction across the customer lifecycle and across the full spectrum of physical and digital channels. FSI can demonstrate to customers that they know them well, understand their needs, and of course, that they truly care. To sum it all, FSIs will definitely continuously capitalize on these trends, and um, those that I mentioned, by integrating digital and technological advancement into the traditional experience, and conversely, encouraging the human touch in digital experiences, they will be more empowered to make customer experiences personal, whether on-site or virtually. Our experience during the last 2 years gave us a better understanding of customers and their needs then. And in the now or next normal, so how can brands or businesses succeed and emerge stronger in a post-pandemic or post-COVID business landscape? Start with customer. When designing new work models, companies should think like their customers and anticipate how their needs and preferences will change the work. We recommend that you equip your employees with the right tools while also elevating them or giving them access to trainings or opportunities. Whether they could upskill or reskill themselves, we must sharpen the blade, so to speak. And next, we need to encourage innovation, but not just innovating for the sake of innovating, rather innovate with purpose. Then allow your organization to develop a digital mindset or a set of attitudes and behaviors that enable you to see how data, algorithms, and AI open up new possibilities and chart a path for success in an increasingly technology intensive world. And finally, be on the lookout for signs of distress and employee burnout. First, equip employees. Equip your employees with the right tools that they would need to make sure that they can do their task effectively and efficiently, whether they're in the office or working remotely. Now that hybrid work arrangements have become the norm, make sure your employees have the right technology, and they need to be successful in using those tools, and which may be more than just a mobile phone or a laptop. For example, if you expect employees to attend virtual meetings, do they have suitable cameras, good connectivity, and appropriate collaboration tools? If you don't have an extensive set of technology or, let's say, collaborative tools available, you can equip employees to function effectively when working remotely. But don't just assume that people know how to operate the virtual communications or are comfortable in that environment. And we must acknowledge that virtual communications are different and won't be perfect, but should still be professional and respectful of others. And be mindful that virtual communications may be less comfortable and effective for some, and coach employees on when and how to escalate ineffective virtual exchanges. Second, encourage innovation. With businesses sheltering in place amid high levels of uncertainty, managers and employees may reasonably become more risk averse, and there's a natural hesitancy among employees during disruptive times to be afraid to try something new. But innovating is important to move forward and ensure that you have the right products, solutions, and processes to address the needs of your customers, both internal and external. Keep in mind that innovations that have the most impact solve real customer needs while also improving, optimizing, and streamlining internal operations. Foster a culture of innovation across your business and become highly responsive to changing customer needs. And these innovations do not have to be at large or to be large. Even when the organization has constraints on new investments, managers can emphasize the need and provide opportunities for incremental innovation or process improvements. The third one is elevating your employees. Companies need to purposely create culture and connection. They should build all employees' capabilities to thrive today in future work models, and they should balance the needs of the organization, also the team, the employees, and they should actively engage employees in co-creating the future together. And companies should craft a talent strategy that develops employees' critical and cognitive capabilities and their social and emotional skills as well, and their adaptability and resilience. Now is the time for companies to double down on their learning budgets and commit to rescaling for future disruptions. In addition to that, develop a digital mindset. Learning new technological skills is essential for digital transformation, but it is definitely not enough. Employees must be motivated to use their skills to create new opportunities. They need a digital mindset. Psychologists describe mindset as a way of thinking and orienting to the world that shapes how we perceive, feel, and act. A digital mindset is a set of attitude and behaviors that enable people and organizations to see how data, algorithms, and AI open up new possibilities and to chart a path for success in an increasingly technology-intensive world. Last but probably the most relevant and yet overlooked, be on the lookout for signs of distress. Take care of people and adapt to their work preferences. Understand that individuals work at different speeds and that their most productive setting might vary. Some prefer to work alone, others in groups. So be flexible and allow your most valuable workers the freedom to choose their own work styles within the constraints of the organization. PwC research shows that many employers are similarly committed to giving remote workers what they need to be more productive and use both direct conversations and indirect observations to get visibility into employees' challenges and concerns. Use every opportunity to make clear to employees that you support and care for them. And at Eastern, we are committed to ensuring that we not only have the right solutions, but also care for our customers and employees. We take time to understand their needs, provide relevant products and services, and provide exceptional customer service. Having a heart of service in all that we do is at the core of our culture as Eastern employees. At Eastern, on top of solid and reliable technology, delighting our customers is at the forefront of our brand of personalized service because human connections are equally important. We recognize that our customers' needs have shifted and will continue to shift in order to adapt to new ways of working, which is why we strengthened our ICT solutions portfolio to help our customers be in a better position to emerge stronger and be better prepared for future disruptions. And in addition to our connectivity solutions, we have a healthy suite of network, cybersecurity, cloud and data center, and business application solutions to address your business needs. And as a testament to our innovative spirit, we just recently unveiled our Experience Center. And we have a long-standing commitment to see business prosper and families better connected. To do our part in nation building, which is why our expansion efforts in other regions and areas are ongoing to support nationwide services, especially the underserviced communities. And internally, we make sure that all our employees have equal opportunities to gain new skills. Eastern employees have access to various training courses relevant to their job function, of course. And our sales and technical teams also undergo certifications to make sure that they are capable to provide the support and solutions we carry, of course, with consistency. And in addition to technical trainings, we also provide our employees access to webinars and other online resources that will ensure that they have a healthy state of mind, and we provide them with mental health consultations when they need it. We practice an open door and open feedback policy that gives employees an opportunity to have open lines of communications with management. So these are just some of the things that we do at Eastern that we hope you can take inspiration from. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. If there is anything that we could help you with, please do not hesitate to reach out to us via the contact details you see on the screen or reach out to your Eastern account managers. They will definitely be more than willing to have a discussion with you. So that's all for now kay Eastern. Let's all emerge stronger this year. And back to you, Carla.
Mr. Giancarlo Gono there. Thank you so much. It's always good to hear from our Ka-Easterns on their latest insights. And we talked a lot about digital transformation in early episodes of E-Huddle. And now to see how far that has come and really how on the nose those earlier talks have been, and now we see them bearing fruit. It's really been an interesting journey to see how things have been transforming and how they've been applied, right? So anyway, we're going to keep things moving along. So once again, everyone, don't forget, or if you missed the announcement earlier, there are trivia questions that are going to be popping up in your chat box. And if you answer those, you do stand a chance to win a gift away voucher. So make sure you check those out and answer correctly. All right, those prizes will be given away a little bit later on. So let's keep things moving along here. Our keynote speaker for today is an economist and professor emeritus of the University of the Philippines, Diliman. He served as budget secretary from 2016 to 2019. On his third tour of duty at the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, he pursued an expansionary fiscal policy to finance investments in human capital development and public infrastructure. He served as fiscal advisor to the Philippine Senate and as an advisor and consultant to various multilateral agencies like the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, European Commission, and USAID for work in the Philippines, China, and transitioning economies like Vietnam, Cambodia, and Mongolia. Let's all welcome now the Governor of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Mr. Benjamin Diokno.
To all the thought leaders, fellow speakers, and everyone here present, good day. Thank you for inviting me to the second year of the E-Huddle webinar series. This provides an effective platform for the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to convey our insights and ongoing initiatives. Today, I will discuss, first, the macroeconomic landscape and highlights of the performance of our banking system. Second, the key regulatory reforms to ensure smooth transition post-pandemic, particularly BSP initiatives in promoting sustainable finance and digitalization as essential elements in the recovery and operational resilience of BSP supervised financial institutions. Third, the BSP legislative agenda. Finally, I will cap my presentation with some key takeaways. Now, let me start by saying that our economy is fundamentally strong and resilient. Despite the recession in 2020 due to the pandemic, we managed to bounce back stronger. The economy posted a 5.7% full-year growth last year, above the government's target range of 5 to 5.5%. Inflation remains manageable, settling at 3.4% in the first quarter of this year, well within the government's target band of 2 to 4%. Our gross international reserves, or GIR, which serve as buffer against external headwinds, remain hefty at $108.5 billion as of end March this year. The GIR is considered adequate if it can cover at least 3 months' worth of imports. Ours provides 9.5 months of import cover. The job situation has recovered. The number of employed Filipinos now exceeds pre-pandemic level. The unemployment rate dropped to 6.4% in February this year from a peak of 17.6% in April 2020. Moving on to the banking sector. Banks remain the pillar of strength of our economy. As of February this year, the total resources of the banking system expanded by 7% year-on-year to 20.7 trillion pesos. Credit activity registered an increasing trend for 7 straight months, up by 5.4% year-on-year. we expect improving economic condition and market sentiment to further spur domestic credit expansion. Non-performing loans remain manageable with NPL ratio at 4.2%. The NPL coverage ratio, which shows the bank's allowance for potential losses from bad loans, is high at 86.1%. Meanwhile, the capital adequacy ratio of universal and commercial banks reached 17.4% on a consolidated basis. This is well above the minimum thresholds of 10% set by the BSP and 8% by the Bank for International Settlements. Finally, the net profit of the banking system is up by a remarkable 44.8% year-on-year as of December 2021. Against this backdrop, our country has kept its investment grade ratings all throughout the pandemic. This is despite a wave of downgrades globally, which validates the resilience demonstrated by our economy amid the pandemic. When the pandemic struck, the BSP stepped in to provide additional emergency support to the government's broad-based health and fiscal programs. On top of this, we implemented a wide range of regulatory relief measures aimed at, first, extending financial relief, second, boosting bank lending, and third, promoting continued access to financial delivery and services. The BSP extended some of these measures until year-end to sustain the credit growth momentum and ensure continued access to financial services. At the height of the pandemic, we strengthened our earlier digitalization efforts through the Digital Payments Transformation Roadmap. We have twin targets by 2023, which I consider personal goals. First is that at least half of financial transactions in the country are done digitally. And second, that at least 70% of Filipino adults have transaction accounts. I'm optimistic about hitting these two objectives as the economy shifts from a cash-heavy to a cash-light economy. Now let me cite some of our initiatives. Together with the Philippine Payments Management Incorporated, or PPMI, we launched the QRPH Person-to-Merchant Facility in October 2021. We are also collaborating with PPMI to broaden the use cases for 3 digital payment streams this year. First is the Interoperable Bills Pay Facility, which will address the existing fragmented bills payment mechanism. Second is the Request to Pay Facility, which will empower payees to initiate collections of non-recurring receivables. And third is the Direct Debit, which allow customers to better manage recurring payments. We have also issued open finance and digital banking frameworks to accelerate digital transformation and financial inclusion. The Open Finance Framework promotes consent-driven data portability, interoperability, and collaborative partnerships among entities that adhere to the same standards of data security and privacy. In line with our digital transformation roadmap, the BSP has issued licenses to 6 purely digital banks. The BSP has also commenced initiatives in the digitalization of offshore payments. We are prioritizing the establishment of interoperable, cross-border, real-time retail payment systems among ASEAN member states. Moving on to sustainable finance. For us at the BSP, sustainability will serve as our guidepost in rebuilding the post-COVID-19 economy. It is crucial that sustainability principles are part of how institutions are governed. As such, the BSP is actively collaborating with government agencies and regulators through the Interagency Technical Working Group on Sustainable Finance, or what we call the Green Force, to form a cohesive action plan to institutionalize and accelerate the growth of sustainable finance. Data shows that 24%, or 119 out of 499 banks, have adopted their respective sustainable transition plans. Banks have issued around $1.15 billion and 152.9 billion pesos worth of green, social, and sustainability bonds since 2017. In leading by example, the BSP has invested $550 million in the green bond funds of the Bank for International Settlements to promote investments in sustainable or green finance assets. We also acknowledge the critical legislation complementing our regulatory reforms and initiatives. These bills include Financial Consumer Protection Act, which will afford the financial sector regulators the authority to enforce prudent and customer-centric standards of conduct, including the power to adjudicate consumer complaints. The FCPA is in the Office of the President for signature. The Agri-Agra Bill is seen to enhance access by rural communities to private sector financing. This bill is pending for bicameral conference. Meanwhile, the Digital Payments Bill seeks to promote digital payment systems, particularly in all government agencies. This is currently approved in the House of Representatives on third reading and pending in the Senate Committee on Banks. The Government Financial Institutions Unified Initiatives to Distressed Enterprises for Economic Recovery Act, or the GUIDE Bill, seeks to strengthen the capacity of the Land Bank and the Development Bank of the Philippines to provide access to credit to distressed enterprises as a result of the pandemic. This bill is approved in the House of Representatives on third reading and pending in the Senate Committee on Banks. There is also the Financial Accounts Regulation Bill, which aims to regulate the use of bank accounts and e-wallets in online transactions to address proliferation of cybercrimes. This is also pending in the Senate Committee on Banks. Finally, let me highlight key points of my presentation. The country is on the road to full recovery. Banks continue to be in a position of strength to support economic recovery. The pandemic has helped accelerate the sustainability agenda and digitalization of the financial system. And amid all the challenges and uncertainties, the BSP remains committed to provide a conducive environment for digital innovation and sustainability. In closing, let me go back to your theme, Ignite the Strength of Rising Together. I'm confident that with your support in the private sector, all of us can look forward to a brighter post-COVID Philippine economy. As Henry Ford, founder of Ford Motor Company, said, quote, "Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success," unquote. Thank you for your attention.
Such an honor to get updates from the Governor of Bangko Sentral. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin Diokno. Now, I wonder, everyone, I hope you've been paying attention. I trust that you have been, because those prizes for the trivia questions are waiting for you. Keep your eyes on that chat box because there will be a few announcements over there. All right, moving things along, our third speaker leads the strategic engagement around Cato's cloud-native approach to Secure Access Service Edge, or SASE. He is a strong advocate and champion of network and security convergence, promoting SASE as the pathway to better business and technical outcomes. Prior to Cato, he held various leadership roles with Sophos, Cisco, Juniper Networks, and Citrix Systems. As a 20-plus year technology industry veteran, he brings a diverse global perspective, having lived and worked in North America, Europe, and Asia. In his personal time, he enjoys reading books on neuroscience, as well as dabbling in music, art, and cooking. Interesting. Let's all welcome the Product Marketing Director for Cato Networks in Asia Pacific, Mr. Demetris Booth.
Thank you very much, Carla, for that wonderful introduction, and welcome everyone to this awesome event. As Carla mentioned, my name is Demetris Booth, and I am Director of Product Marketing for Cato Networks here in Asia Pacific. Today, I want to have a short conversation with you around what it takes to secure the future of work by taking a risk-based approach with a SASE cloud. Now, I'm pretty sure many of you are used to, and maybe just a tad bit tired of people starting off presentations today saying, well, COVID has changed the world in this way. I want to slightly avoid that. I mean, acknowledging, yes, COVID has really made a big difference, but where we are today, we were headed in this direction anyway. And while we got here a lot sooner than we had planned, we're here and we're going to continue to evolve. And what I mean by this is businesses are continually expanding, they're growing, they're extending their reach. The idea of employees being tethered to a desk or an office is really outdated, as more of us are working from home, working from coffee shops, working from anywhere in the world. Now, obviously, this change that we are encountering is, as I said, it's here to stay and it's going to continue to evolve. But one of the things that is, even though we all saw it coming, not a lot of organizations were as quite prepared for it as they probably should have. So many of them are dealing with different levels of risk that we have to take into account, and we have to devise a strategy whereby we need to better manage this risk. Now, when I'm talking about risk, I'm talking about the risk with regards to security. As I mentioned before, work from anywhere, it's nothing new. We've been in this mode for more than a decade. I've been in the industry for more than 20 years, and for more than 20 years, I've been working from home, working from coffee shops, working from wherever it's been. You know, it's been made popular by COVID. So working from anywhere, this presents a unique risk from a security perspective because it is just expanding, you know, the reach per se of potential threats. And the next thing is when we have new devices or just any device that touches our network from a remote perspective, we have to understand, you know, what risks those devices pose and be able to adapt rapidly and automatically as that device's posture may change. So another risk that we have to take into consideration. And of course, this is an old favorite per se. Cyber threats, they're always going to be here. They're always going to continue to expand. That attack surfaces are always going to grow. And we have to consider this in every aspect of everything that we do moving forward. Because if we don't effectively manage the risk, then we're not going to be able to take advantage of the flexibility, the agility, the innovation that's going to be enabled with this new dynamic or the next dynamic of the future of work. Now, when we talk about you know, managing or mitigating the risk that's going to be posed by this future of work, we're talking about how we look at risk, how we approach it, and more specifically, how we better manage it from when our users are coming into our environments. So we talk about taking a risk-based access approach. We're really talking about those steps that we need to identify, assess, and so forth with regards to risk. So pre-evaluating the potential risky users that are and their devices that may touch or will touch our network. Being able to determine, okay, what's their profile, what's their device's profile, and how can we actually assign appropriate policies to ensure that they're going to have the most secure experience in our environment as possible. How are we going to enforce these policies? And probably the most important one, which we tend to overlook, is how do we continually evaluate that risk once that device is in the environment, and how do we adapt when their posture changes? So if we were to try to look at this from a flow perspective, we're really talking about how we extend that simple remote access to a risk-based access. So if we look at just simple remote access with ZTNA, we'll have a user. Obviously, they're going to attempt to come into the network. They're going to be authenticated. The authenticator is going to check their username, all their user profile, whether they're a contractor, employee, whatever, their devices and so forth. And then based upon their profile, it is going to give them access to certain applications. And then there they have it. In his case, we have a finance application. But what if we have unique criteria for this particular device or set of devices? Let's say we want to define where a user can only access this financial application if they are logging in from certain regions of the world. What if we don't want to have any contractors at all be able to access this particular set of resources? What if once that device posture changes, we don't want them to have any access at all? And when I talk about that device posture changes, say for example here, I'm working in my home office. I'm on my secure Wi-Fi network. I decide that a few minutes later, I want to go out and I want to work from a coffee shop. I go out, I connect it to that coffee shop's Wi-Fi. My posture, my device posture has changed because of the network that I am now connecting from into my corporate network. And maybe my corporate network says that, you know what, he's now on a public Wi-Fi network. We don't want this individual there. These are certain characteristics that we want to look for and define policies for. So in such a case, we're now looking at setting geolocation type policies. We're looking at unique user access policies and that continuous device posture checking. And with this, we have client connectivity policies that will allow us to not only evaluate that device posture itself, but also assign these unique policies for individual users or groups of users based upon certain criteria, certain access criteria. And if they fail this, then we want to block them. And when we take a risk-based access control approach to this, this is what you're doing. You are looking at and measuring and evaluating the risk of a particular device or a user of that device, and you are giving that user and device the appropriate treatment. Things like this is very possible and is mostly possible when you have a converged cloud-native SASE architecture. With such an architecture, this enables you to provide that true access control based upon the client connectivity and the device posture itself. So by being able to set those specific access criteria, geolocation, user type, device type, and so forth, and determining what type of access you're going to give this particular user and device. But you don't stop there. Simultaneously, you're now able to apply security to that particular data flow and user data flow as well. So you're able to secure this user when they're on your wide area network. You're able to secure this user device when they are going to third-party applications or cloud data centers. If they're going to the internet, you're able to apply security to that as well too. And this, because of a cloud-native converged architecture, it makes it simple and easy to do this in a single pass. And of course, you have the single context, as in the single policy, and then you have the overarching management that goes with it as well. And this is what I mean by that power of convergence, being able to have all of this in a single software stack that is enforcing these access and security policies at the same time. So when you're able to do this, you're able to enable that user to benefit from so much more than just simple remote access to your network. In a situation like this, in managing that risk itself, you're now able to take the policies that are assigned for that particular user. So when they are in their home office there in the Philippines, they will get full access to all the resources as defined by the policies and defined by based on their identity. And if that user now decides they're going to travel into China, you may want to change that profile and have it done automatically because of where they're connecting from and potentially the devices that they may be using. And if they go to the UK, you may want to have them be assigned or have applied a different set of policies based upon accessing it from Europe, from the UK itself. But this is the flexibility that you have with a SASE architecture. And we like to say that, your network is always there with you. It follows you. So it's closed and secure, and it enables your users to have the best possible secure experience so that that next layer or next phase of the future of work is seamless, straightforward, simple, and easy. And when we take that risk-based approach to enabling and securing the future of work, we are taking the steps to make everything as simple as possible. So whether our users are working from the office or more than likely working remotely from their home or their coffee shop, no matter where they're navigating to, whether it's going to the internet or going to third-party SaaS applications or to their cloud data center, keeping it simple means having consistency all the way through. So they have consistent network connectivity, end-to-end connectivity, end-to-end optimization. They have consistent security, no matter whether they're connecting from Singapore, Philippines, UK, or whatever. Their security, their cloud access, their security protection is going to be consistent all the way through. And then, of course, being able for the administrators, being able to manage all this very simply, straightforward, and easily, having a SASE cloud with converged technologies of networking security makes it straightforward, simple, and easy for administrators to manage it and for users to continue to have a safe experience when they are inside or on the network. So we look at all this, roll it back and look at it from a bigger perspective. We see how we can, by taking a risk-based approach, provide better security for the future of work, because now we are taking account for all the potential risks that a work from anywhere type user may pose when they are on our network. Additionally, because we are taking advantage of a converged SASE cloud architecture, it allows us to take the device profile and those client connectivity policies and leverage all of this for security across the entire network. And when you're able to do this, you're able to better manage the risk that may be posed by that userless devices across the entire enterprise as well. So when we look at everything together, taking a risk-based approach to the future of work in your organization will help you maintain that high level of security that you demand by also providing that high level of user experience for your employees and partners. And thank you so very much. And Carla, at this point, I would like to hand it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Demetris Booth. You'll be hearing more from him in just a little while. You know, I think Philippine companies are rather quickly learning that remote work is quite inevitable here in the Philippines, as much as we might try to fully go back to on the ground, you know, work in across all industries. I think it's become quite inevitable. It's good to know that, as you know, Cato has shown us today, that there are solutions to keep it safe, to keep your data secure, and for everybody to be in a win-win situation with their employees, with their customers, and the company itself. So again, you'll be hearing more from Demetris in a while, and because we will be having our Q&A sessions. If you have any inquiries, do feel free to send those in the chat. But before that, we will be having our electronic raffle that I mentioned earlier, and we'll be giving away some exciting prizes. If this is the first time that you're joining us here on E-Huddle, let me tell you a bit about how it works. Now, during registration, we've gathered all of your names and automatically added them to the roster of possible winners for today's draw. And our prizes are the following. Let's take a look. There they are. You've got that RK61 mechanical keyboard, a Logitech C920 Pro HD webcam, and later on, we've got that major prize of the day, which is a 1 terabyte SSD. Very, very useful prizes there. And here's how it works. Like I said, your names are already in the mix, and we're gonna be flashing the names of the winners rather, on the screen. What do you do if you see that it's your name? All you have to do is take a screenshot, send it to us via email at marketing@etpi.com.ph. Make sure you include all of the info you see on your screens right now. We'll give you a second to take note of all of that, because we want to get those prizes in your hands as soon as possible, of course. Okay, so you take that screenshot, send it to us, and that is all. Really plain and simple, right? So let's start with a couple of the minor prizes, starting with the RK61 mechanical keyboard. Let's get to it. The winner is, roll that drum roll. We've got a drum roll ready for you guys. There you go. Okay. Jade Burma. I hope I said your last name right. Jade, take a screenshot right now. You got to do that because you'll be needing it later. A couple more seconds to do that. Okay, congratulations, Jade, our first winner of the day. Next up, the winner of the Logitech C920 Pro HD webcam. I think it's the one I'm using right now, actually. Let's find out who was picked by our electronic raffle. Congratulations to... Okay. Cromwell Zabala, make sure you take that screenshot right now. We'll give you a few more seconds. Take a screenshot, email it to us later. You're gonna need it. All right. 2 out of 3 winners of the day. We still have one major prize to be raffled a little bit later on, but you're gonna have to sit tight for a little while before we get to that. Now, if you know Eastern Communications, you know how much they value what you have to say. And that is why we are now going to be flashing a QR code on the screen, and that is our post-event feedback form, and we would love to hear from you. Just scan that QR code. It's gonna be flashed in a moment, I think. There you go. And now, an extra treat for being a part of sharing your thoughts with us today is that 50 lucky people who fill out the form will also get a chance to win an e-voucher from Giftaway. We're just raining prizes upon you guys today. And there you go. I'll give you a second more to scan that QR code. You can fill it out later if you like. Okay. Now, everyone, I'd like to invite our speakers back on the screen. We are now opening our panel for your questions. You can send those to the speakers now and just get those thoughts going, get those conversations going, and we'd be very much happy to get those answered by our speakers. Again, introducing our speakers, Giancarlo Gono and Demetris Booth. Unfortunately, due to a prior engagement, Mr. Benjamin Diokno will not be joining our Q&A. So gentlemen, it is the three of us today.
Hello. Hello, Carla.
Can we hear each other fine? I think I've yet to hear.
There you go.
There you are. All right.
Oh, sorry about that. Hello. Hi,
You know
Carla.
how it is. We've always got to check, always got to make sure. So
Yeah, of
thank
course.
you both. Welcome back on screen. I always love having some company on screen. I love this portion of E-Huddle. So gentlemen, I think you already know the drill, but let's go through it real quick right now. So I've got two general questions that the both of you are going to answer. And then we're gonna take turns answering the more tailored ones for each of you, okay? So let's not waste any time. Time is of the essence here for the Q&A. So first question, in this digital era, innovation has been a buzzword for many businesses. How do you think businesses can even further their business development through digital transformation? Let's start with you, Demetris.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the question, Carla. I would say initially, in order to facilitate a smooth transition there in their transformation journey, planning. Okay, you just can't like dive into it. There are so many facets of digital transformation, and digital transformation, quite frankly, means something different for every organization. So you need to understand, what the challenges your organization are facing right now, currently. What you would like to see as an outcome. But to understand, obviously, the nature of your overall business, from start to finish, and then just try to map your journey, to those requirements themselves. So that's kind of sort of step one. Make sure you have rock solid planning. And the next piece of that is make sure you have the right technology. Okay, so obviously, I'm going to be a bit biased here and speak from a Cato perspective, but no shame in that one.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. Okay, but when we talk about digital transformation for organizations, it's really how they better use technology, cloud delivered technologies, and part of that is not just a utilization of, but also being able to access. How are you going to access? What type of service you're going to use, and how are you going to get to those services? One of the critical factors that a lot of organizations will face as they embark upon these journeys is how do they evolve with their architectures today to architecture that's actually going to help them scale and grow. And you need to have the right technology, the right architecture, the right network, the right security capabilities in place that's going to make sure that overall journey that your organization is embarking upon is going to have the smoothest possible experience. It's also going to enable you to scale as necessary. And probably in some of the questions, I have no idea what they are, but I'm probably going to come back to scalability, because scalability is really critical when we talk about digital transformation and what's next for a lot of organizations. So that will be my answer. The planning, and make sure you choose the right technology.
Thanks, Demetris. I think that's a good it's an excellent place to start in terms of this question, because people can so haphazardly just run into it, get excited about it, and just dive in like, oh, all this cool new toys, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Facing the shiny new red toy is a challenge.
Exactly. And it might not necessarily be the best match or the best combination that you choose. And so I think that tailoring aspect is something that Eastern over here is very good at. So Gian, same question for you. How can businesses further their business development through digital transformation?
Okay, thanks, Carla. We at Eastern, our clients and partners have embraced digital, from online shopping, managing our finances, working remotely and learning virtually. We saw how a lot of us adjusted and became comfortable using technology to go about our daily lives. And based on the insights that we've gathered about consumer behavior and from the industry that we support, this will most likely continue even after the pandemic. So this will contribute to the continued rise of technologies, as mentioned also by Demetris. Like cloud, SASE, AI, IoT, and cybersecurity, which are all needed to support digital technologies and trends. And of course, all of these need internet and connectivity solutions and also data services. And I'd like to add that companies, whether big or small, should regularly and strategically reevaluate and assess their business processes. So this would give them an opportunity to identify and see what they can still continue doing or using, and what they need to change or innovate. And just to point out again, companies must be agile in order to address the needs of the customers post-pandemic. This is by constantly taking a look at their processes, people, and technologies. And Eastern Communications can definitely help with this or in this aspect. So as a telco and ICT solutions provider, we can sit down with them and know exactly how we can help them.
Thanks, Gian. I think that's a really good build on this topic, because number one, as you said, the agility is something we've always talked about here at E-Huddle, and it's always been so critical to the steps we have to take during and after the pandemic, as well as what you mentioned about how maybe sometimes certain businesses or large enough businesses, but in maybe niche industries will say, we don't need to move that quick on digital transformation. Maybe we don't have to do that yet. We're too small. We're too niche. We're not ready. But really, something that we've been learning about here in E-Huddle is that, you can tailor it no matter what industry you're in, no matter how large your business is. And it can be a powerful tool and a powerful partner to you. And while we're on the topic of partners, I'm on a roll with my segues here. Speaking of partners, in both of your opinions, this is our second general question, by the way. What should a company or business consider in choosing the right tech partner or ICT provider? Demetris, let's start with you again.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. And you're right. You are doing very well in your segue. So awesome job.
I try my best.
There you go. You know what? It's really critical, and this is like really a big one. When I talk to customers that I try to call out initially is that, okay, understanding what problem you're trying to solve, because you can be in the same industry as your partner, as your competitor, but the two of you will have different problems that you need to solve. Okay, so understanding what problems you need to solve. Okay, then going back to my previous answer, make sure you have a plan for it, and then finding and partner with the partner or solution provider that has deep experience in achieving or solving those particular problems that you are facing, because that's going to give you the confidence that, you know what, these people know what they're doing. They've been there, they've done it, and they're going to help me along the way. They're going to correct any of my assumptions. They're going to provide me with the necessary guidance to make sure that I'm doing everything possible. Maybe you can call out different things that I haven't even thought of before as well too. So understand the problem you need to solve and make sure you choose a partner that has a deep, rich experience in solving your problems.
Thanks, Demetris. I've got a quick follow-up to that very quickly.
Sure.
At Cato, is it something that you find in your experience with Cato's partners and clients that there is very much a different set of customizations or a different set of services for each different industry? Is it a highly tailored industry to be in?
Are you talking about from our customer perspective or providers like ourselves?
Yes, that's right. So you to your customers.
To my customer. I would say, from a big picture perspective, everybody is facing the same thing from a security perspective. That's getting hacked and being doused with ransomware and losing a lot of money. That's the big picture thing.
Yeah.
But everyone, and it's not just industry, but it's really individual customer, because everyone's going to have a different concern. And I'm serious, they're going to have a different concern because, if you are in the healthcare industry, you're running a hospital, your hospital network is going to look different from your competitor hospital network that's like maybe 5 km away, okay? And it's just going to be a factor of, how their relative IT teams actually built out that architecture, Okay, so when these two hospital facilities, when they try to upgrade or they embark upon a digital transformation journey or whatever it is, they're going to be looking at their particular individual circumstances. They're going to probably have to call out different problems because they're going to be really, really different from each one of them. And then they're going to have to maybe solve it in a different way.
Yes.
So that difference per se is not just industry to industry, but also it is really company to company, because no solution, no company is the same, and no solution for that company is going to be the same. You can use it as a guideline, but it's probably not going to be the same at all.
That's really good to know. Thanks, Demetris. I think that was just a side question that I was curious about. So really interesting to be hearing from the both of you about, how really it's tailored for these different groups. Now, Gian, same question. What should a company or business consider when choosing the right tech partner or ICT provider?
I think everything was mentioned already by Demetris. In choosing the right tech partner or ICT provider, first, you must have the right products and solutions that will suit your business needs. In case you partner with solutions providers, you must partner with only best-in-class providers. And this will ensure that you get the products and solutions you deserve. Next, they must be certified or competent to provide and support the services they will provide them with. And finally, the right tech partner or ICT provider must have exceptional customer service. So aside from having reliable products and services or solutions, overall, they have to be your partner in future-proofing or building your business. And the right tech partner or ICT provider should genuinely look out for your best interest.
Thanks, Gian. I know I brought this up in our last episode, but it never ceases to amaze me how Eastern has been around for many, many decades now. Am I mistaken that it's been more than 100 years already? No, one of the oldest providers in the Philippines. And so, as I mentioned in our last episode, there have been so many hurdles already and so many historical world-changing events that Eastern has been around for. And so to see how you keep on evolving, keep on, making sure that you're up to date and abreast of all of the issues and how to deal with them, it's really something that's so impressive to me. So thanks for that, Gian. Now, gentlemen, we're gonna.
I have a compliment for you, Gian. You look really good for being over 100 years old.
Thank you, Demetris.
Wonderful. See, we've got a great board here today. Okay, gentlemen, I've got your individual questions coming up next. We're going to take turns here, shall we? So, Demetris, I'm going to throw this first one to you. And it says, how can the SASE technology be of help for businesses to be future-proofed and be resilient in a case of another crisis or disruption, which we don't like, might happen again? So how can SASE be of help for in the case of another crisis or disruption?
Okay. One of the things that we experienced or that we observed, at the start of COVID. COVID is so popular, everyone uses it as a reference. But one of the key things at the beginning of it was that we saw a rush of organizations who had all their employees that were like tethered to their desk or whatever like that were rushing to facilitate them, working from home. Okay, so that required, VPNs. And in many organizations around the world, before COVID, maybe 10% of their workforce was actually, working from home, and everyone else was like working in the office. So their VPN infrastructures was not really built out the capacity to all of a sudden be 100% work from home environment. So you had a big rush of organizations that were calling up their vendors, like say, I need more VPN concentrators, I need more VPN concentrators, I need more of this, we need to scale, we're going working from home. And you had a huge delay with a lot of organizations, like fighting over this with their vendor in order to scale up to facilitate their employees working from home. So that was an example of organizations that just were not prepared to scale the way they needed to. They were not prepared for that next wave of challenges that was obviously no one knew it was going to come, but it came anyway. So one of the things that SASE helps overcome, specifically a converged cloud native SASE, is that you are combining a lot of technologies into one. You're combining the network aspect into one. One of the challenges with VPNs in the past is the fact that in order to connect and get your authentication, your policies, you would have to actually backhaul to a corporate enterprise data center before going out to the cloud or before accessing any enterprise applications. With SASE, you don't have to do that because everything is cloud-based. Everything, when you connect into one of the SASE POPs, you get all your policies, your authentication, and then you're going there, no need to backhaul. Another area where SASE helps overcome and future-proof businesses is from the security perspective as well. You're also converging security in that. So when you do connect into the network, in the same place where you're getting your authentication for access, you're getting assigned all your security policies that is protecting that traffic flow, whether you are going to your enterprise application or you're going to cloud applications or going to the internet or whatever. You're getting all of this there. What SASE, I guess one of the biggest benefits of SASE outside of converging all these technologies into one is that if we ever have, and probably, who knows, we probably will, but whenever it happens, you have another COVID moment, you're going to have companies that are going to be prepared to scale as necessary when they have whatever's going to happen next. One of our mantras at Cato is that ready for whatever's next, because you just don't know. And organizations need a network, they need a infrastructure that's going to facilitate that. And this is what SASE does. And I like to say when I talk to customers is that our SASE enables customers to scale at the speed of their business instead of having their business have to go at the inflexible and sometimes slow speed of their network. And this is probably the biggest area where SASE is going to help to future-proof businesses moving forward.
Thanks, Demetris. And I cannot claim to be an expert on any of this. However, I think
sorry.
No, not at all. But I mean, it's fascinating to hear this side of it. And speaking about the next crisis or the next disruption, as you say, maybe even another wave of COVID, we never know. But my impression is that the biggest hurdle for, at least in the Philippine setting, is that the biggest hurdle has already been, we've already gotten over it, which was adapting to digital transformation. I think earlier in your answer, you said how, very little, if at all, at least there in the Philippines, were people ready for remote work or ready to have their data being tossed around digitally via public networks at the coffee shop or at their homes, and they're not sure of their security and how safe their data is where they are. And I think we've taken some great steps, I would say, to be more prepared for that next disruption, and it really won't be as much of a clumsy, just slapped together solution in the moment as we were in the first lockdown of COVID. So I think we're on the right track, I'd say.
Yeah, it won't be the deer in the headlights moment again.
Right. And we're here, we're talking about it, and we've got some better preparation, I'd say. So Gian, I've got a question for you. This one here says, what could Eastern Communications do to support the advocacy of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, or the BSP, in improving the financial inclusion of the country through digitalization?
That's definitely a great question. And it's just that unfortunately, the Honorable Governor of BSP isn't with us here in the discussion, but we are definitely one with BSP in believing that financial digitalization will ensure the emergence of businesses and boost the economic growth as digitalization make financial transaction easier and quicker, and help improve working capital efficiency, and also accelerating ICT infrastructure build up and improving telecommunication services are critical components as the need for connectivity access surges throughout the country. So aside from widening our reach even more through our network expansion program nationwide, in which we will be able to serve more customers for them to connect digitally, we have an array of telco and ICT solutions that could help them achieve their business goals, thus taking a part to help improve the country's economic activity. So we have solutions like VSAT that could help provide connectivity in hard-to-reach area or far-flung areas. And Eastern, as an ICT provider, could help enterprises innovate their businesses through the use of Eastern Cloud, cloud technology, which is considered as the enabler of digital transformation. And we also have SASE technology, which can help future-proof your network. And I'm sure Mr. Demetris can expound more on this. And as you progress on your digital transformation journey, your security should not be compromised. That's why we also offer a healthy suite of cybersecurity solutions. And so that's it. In a nutshell, for us, a telco and ICT solutions company, it's not just about business. So we are considered as an enabler of business that support the economic growth and contribute to nation building.
Thanks, Gian. And I think that's it's also especially relevant right now. You know, we just finished our national elections, and you know, we're very heavy these days on the theme of, you know, we don't want anyone to be left behind. We want every Filipino to pursue success personally and as an enterprise or as a small business or whatever it is, you know, they're attempting to do, that they can pursue it with the best tools possible. Right. And so I like what you said about Eastern having services that that help out maybe far-flung locations or, you know, enterprises that are just starting out. You know, these are very important factors, I think, in the Philippines moving forward. So thanks for that, Gian. I've got one more question for each of you. So let's bring it back to Demetris now. This one here says, how can the SASE technology, oh, hold on. Okay, sorry. Okay, here we are. How does SASE cover the full WAN transformation journey versus SD-WAN? And what should we consider before adopting or renewing an SD-WAN contract or service?
Okay. Well, I think that it helps to understand when we're talking about, when you talk about WAN transformation, you're talking about a combination of the network as well as security. Okay, because it serves no purpose to transform the network piece, but then leave security behind. So that's going to be key. And from the SD-WAN versus SASE perspective, SD-WAN is mostly just about the network itself. SD-WAN was a good replacement for MPLS. Many SD-WAN only products, they are very, very limited with regards to security. So that leaves a gap there when looking at just a pure SD-WAN solution only. On the other hand, SASE, it encompasses everything. You have the SD-WAN portion of it, you have the security portion of it. If you have a cloud-native converged architecture, you have them all as one software stack or one software solution. The advantage there is you can, number one, you can get it from one solution provider or partner, in this case, Eastern. You're able to grow not just the business itself, but all your full network and protections all across the entire cloud. Three, if now we always assume that every organization is looking to expand. You know, so today you just may be a Philippine only or Southeast Asia only company, but maybe a year from now you want to expand into Europe or down into Australia, whatever. Having a SASE architecture will enable you to actually simply and easily expand and grow your organization without a lot of complexity. And these are things that SD-WAN is just not going to facilitate, because there's so many other things that you have to consider with an SD-WAN deployment that you don't when you're dealing with a SASE architecture.
Thanks,
Okay.
Demetris.
Sorry. And there's one more thing you had to something that you had to consider before renewing your SD-WAN contract. Those, I think the biggest thing that an organization have to consider before they go out and renew is the overall cost structure. Okay. At the end of the day, every organization is looking to increase ROI, reduce their overall cost and everything. When you have a SD-WAN solution, you're still looking at not just the acquisition costs of the hardware, but you're looking at the services costs, the subscription costs as well. But you're also looking at the actual operational costs of the headcount that's going to be doing a configuration, it's going to be chasing down issues and troubleshooting and things like that. That's going to be handling every little whatever that happens within inside the SD-WAN deployment. With SASE, that actually is alleviated and taken away from the concerns of the customer. So now they're able to achieve a different type of ROI. They're able to now take that IT staff that was previously chasing down every trouble that was popping up and maybe reallocate them to more strategic revenue generating projects. So you're now able to turn that IT group that was a cost center, maybe turn them into a profit center. So that's another thing to consider and another big difference with regards to SD-WAN and SASE.
Thanks, Demetris. And then this might not be the application you had for it in your presentation, but I think your theme of the power of convergence is really kind of just keeping on theme here. That solutions are consolidating, are automating, and it's always good to see how it's progressing in application to our different businesses. So that was my last question for you specifically. So thank you, Demetris, for answering our questions today. Gian, I have one more for you before we say our goodbye messages. And this one here says, you mentioned Eastern has an innovative spirit. Can you tell us more about how Eastern innovations help your customers emerge stronger?
At Eastern, we listen to our customers. We work with them to uncover their pain points. As mentioned also by Demetris earlier, the problem must be identified or the gaps in their processes. So from there, we recommend the best possible products or solutions that would best suit their needs. And we tailor fit our solutions. And in case they need something that we don't have in our portfolio, we develop that solution or find the right partners in order for us to fulfill that need. So we study the market to check the trends for a particular sector or industry to confirm whether we have the right solution to serve their evolving needs. So therefore, we have solutions like SASE, VSAT, and a healthy cybersecurity portfolio. And we want to be able to help our customers remain competitive in their respective markets they operate in. Again, we innovate with purpose, and helping our customers is our sole purpose.
Thanks, Gian. It's really been good to see how Eastern has been evolving into a full-fledged ICT solutions provider, as well as your original mission. And I've always been a fan of how one of your mantras at Eastern is high tech and high touch, because I think that's a big frustration for individuals and businesses where you're just I guess in Tagalog pasa-pasa in terms of your concern. Nobody really gives you an answer. Nobody will take the time to tailor fit their service to you. And so seeing how all of this unfolds at Eastern is always a delight. So thanks for answering our questions, Gian.
No problem.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm all out of questions for your solo ones at least. So it's time to say goodbye. So we're gonna go back around and ask for your brief parting messages. Demetris, let's start with you.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you for inviting me here. It's been a wonderful experience. It's always good to learn from others and also to understand, what others are thinking about what's happening in the market. If I have just a closing message for the audience today, it's that you're going to continue to expand. Your business is going to continue to expand, And as it does, you're going to have to consider, how you want to best manage that expansion, that transformation. Do you want it to be sort of like a repeated process? You expand or innovate, today, and then 5 years you're going to go through the same process again? Or do you want to have a partner and a solution that allows you that little freedom to idealize what you want the next steps to be, but it's also going to be there as your partner to take away some of the major concerns, worries about deploying, implementing, and actually growing your network and your architecture. This is some of the things that SASE enables, and this is some of the things that Eastern, and we're happy to have them as a really, really good partner, will help the organization, help the business out. So as you continue to grow, as you continue to expand and embark upon, many of your initiatives, keep in mind, you want to keep things simple. You want to keep things, as robust as possible. And most importantly, you want to be able to keep your infrastructure and your architecture to the point where it scales with your business. It's not a business inhibitor, but it's a business enabler. And that's really the critical thing there. Thank you.
Thanks, Demetris. And I'm on behalf of Team Eastern. I'm sure they are so happy to have Cato as you mentioned as well. To be partners with Cato. So thank you for being with us today.
That's my pleasure. Thank you.
Gian, will you wrap things up for us today? A quick parting message for your Ka-Easterns.
All right. So first of all, thank you, Mr. Demetris, for being with us this afternoon. So thank you for sharing that very insightful presentation earlier. And yeah, always keep in mind that in this digital era, we have to become an innovative leader by having a digital mindset and the right solutions. So Eastern Communications is always here to help you achieve your business goals, and we will definitely help you or empower you to continue emerging stronger this year and beyond. So thank you and good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you so much, Giancarlo Gono, Demetris Booth. Thank you for taking the time to join our question and answer. Okay, everyone, that is all the time we've got for the Q&A. Let's make sure to give a virtual applause, show our appreciation in the comments. Got some great points there. All right, so again, thank you to our speakers, and we hope everybody got some great notes from there. Now, don't think, guys, that we've forgotten about the major prize that is still waiting ahead of us. It is time now to give that one away. So let's head right to it. If you missed our instructions earlier, don't worry, let me explain it one more time. There you go. We've got that 1 terabyte extreme portable SSD still hanging in the balance. We don't know yet who's gonna win it. And how are we gonna find out? Very, very simple. We've taken all of your names from the registration, and we're gonna flash the name of the raffle winner on your screens. If you see that it's yours, take a screenshot, very important, then email it to us at marketing@etpi.com.ph. Make sure you include all of the info you see here on your screens. Your full name, company address, and your contact info. All right. Let's not hold the suspense any longer, folks. Let's roll that drum roll and find out who is today's major raffle prize winner. Okay, congratulations to Angelo Gutierrez. Angelo, take the screenshot now. We're gonna need it a little bit later. We'll give you a few more seconds to do that. All right, our big winner of the day. Congratulations, Angelo Gutierrez. All right, everyone, I know I already asked you to do this earlier, but we're gonna flash it one more time. Again, you know how much your feedback means to the Eastern team. So there's gonna be a QR code flashing again right here on your screens. This is our post-event feedback form, and we do hope that you'll take the time to let us know what you think. Plus 50 of you, 50, that's a lot, are gonna get the chance to win a special gift away voucher just by filling out the form. Easy peasy. All right, folks, before we say our goodbyes, let's hear from the head of sales of Eastern Communications, Mr. Michael Castaneda.
Thank you very much, Carla. The last couple of years forced all businesses to accelerate their digital transformation journey. Much focus was put on the technology or tools needed to adapt and survive in a post-COVID landscape. But if I may, I would like to inspire everyone who's running a business to take a pause. Maybe step back a little and take time to build and reinvigorate the heart of your organization. That is our human resource. Apart from incentives, let's provide them with more meaningful experiences and opportunities for growth. Tap not only their backs, but also their humanity. Help them discover what makes them feel happy and loved. Give yourself a reward or something to smile about. Believe me, these little things you do for yourself and for your people will provide the building blocks of creativity that will truly ignite not only strategies, but also love for work and for people. I hope that the insights that were shared this afternoon will help stimulate and put you in a better position to emerge stronger this year. Always remember, Eastern is your partner, and I encourage you to reach out and have a dialogue with your respective account managers to know more about how we can work with you. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Stay safe and healthy. God bless us all.
Thank you so much to Sir Mike. And of course, thank you to all of you who are tuned in today for joining us. I hope you don't forget that Eastern Communications is always here and ready to rise with you. Once again, this is your host, Carla Barreto, signing off, and we invite you to join us at the next E-Huddle happening on May 25th. Until then, take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.